Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. GameTalk here. Ajax Fortuna 2-2 end result. We got with us Yadarenko. Perfect game for you, man. As I've seen
Lovely.
the match. So bring it on, man. What were your thoughts about the game? About the players? Talk to me.
Yeah, you could see that tactic really worked. So it was a good game, good tactic, overall great performance, lovely intensity in the game. It's uh, it's one big drama. I tweeted it before the match. I cannot understand that after a performance of Kaplan, on Thursday, you can begin with five defenders against Fortuna at home. I cannot believe it. If you want to change something towards the end of the season, these are the games that you can try these things out. But no, we had wingers, Gooyer and Sosa, that were our wingers. And why? Why? Why again Forbes? Why no Gods in the selection? Why no Vos in the selection? It's so frustrating.
But
That duo Schip Vulcanus is so unbelievably tactically impaired. It's mind-boggling, and he keeps talking to Vulcanus, who cannot even win from amateurs. But he only talks to Vulcanus to get his team right, and it's so terrible, and the choices are so terrible, and you see that those sad players really do their best and really try to make chocolate of something, but there's no cacao anywhere.
that's a Dutch phrase, by the way. Making
Oh,
chocolate
is
out of
it?
something. Oh, for the people who out of the Netherlands, it's like creating something out of nothing. Um, but okay. So of course you're not a fan of the 5-3-2 system, 5-2-3, whatever you want to call it. Um, but can you imagine? I mean, you stated Van Schip. How is he able to play this formation against this Fortuna? But knowing that we don't have any potential inform wingers, how would you play before we go into the game itself? How would you start the match against Fortuna?
Yeah, and that's the problem. Yeah, you have some injuries. So okay, I'll give them that. You have some injuries with Berghuis, with Bergwijn, who I wouldn't play. But if you select the players that you select, um, it's clear that you have no attacking attention and intention at all, because you're playing Forbes again, who didn't show it again. Akpom as well didn't really show it, that he should start. Sure, it had to do with probably not being super
Available,
fit.
yeah, fit.
Um, but but you know this, and you still keep choosing Akpom and not try
Right.
Rijkoff or something else. You don't try Banel. No, you choose Forbes again. Why? What did Forbes do today? He made one run and then put the ball back again.
Yeah, I mean, of course, he was not a starter at all, so that is already a first step. And taking into account that Panel didn't play that well in previous games as well. I mean, for me, it's
No,
quite.
sure, sure, but it's youth, and they play equally bad. So choose youth.
No, I mean, fair point, of course. But do you understand why Van Schip played as a 5-3, played the 5-3-2 system today? Can
Yeah,
you
because
imagine?
because he has no Ajax vision, and he has no balls, and he doesn't know how tactics work. That's the reason. That's the
That
only reason. He sees his formation. He sees, oh, I don't have my favorite players to play with, so I'll change the system. And it worked out against Utrecht. somewhat. It worked against Villa, somewhat. I don't think the tactic worked. I think the intention worked against
Both
Villa.
great.
Yeah, and the intention today was okay. Let's hope for a goal and then pass to each other. That was the tactic today.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, don't get me wrong. I fully agree with you on this because I already saw the interview of Kai Sierhuis, and he literally said, "Okay, Ajax doesn't give anything away lately because of the formation that Ajax plays, but they don't create anything at all. And especially since Bobby did not play today, they were eager to create something, Fortuna to create something because it's an opportunity for them. And I think that's where the problem lies at our side. We don't have any creativity. If you play this system, we don't have the players available, or at least Van Schip is not playing those type of players who can create something. And at first, it was only Brobbey, all the balls to Brobbey. Even today, he scored the equalizer. But what is your view on now Brobbey not playing? Do you consider that we always should play this system in against Aston Villa and so on, or you're always stick to the 4-3-3? Doesn't matter which players are missing, key players and so on. Is the 4-3-3?
For me it's simple. I would always try to play one gameplay and try to get better at that gameplay, and that's it. I would never switch systems. I would never switch tactic on a larger scale, and that's because in the long run you learn the most how to cope with one system. And that's hard enough, in my opinion. So I
Yeah,
don't believe playing one game attacking, playing the next game defending. Just try to defend more forward on the field. Like Cruyff said in the past, I'm more defensive as many people think because I begin to defend in the front. Um,
yeah,
it's just a way of thinking about how you would like to unbalance your opponent. And that's basically it. You want to get them out of their balance and get you into your flow.
yeah. Now I understand, but the problem is that the players that we currently have don't know how to do that, or the coach doesn't know how to bring that over. To let them do what we all want to see the players what they need to do, and I think that's a problem. But okay, let's go back to the game, the 2-2. What do you think about the first goal, Taylor? I mean, we were all criticizing Taylor, but he's not scoring now. I mean, he scored against Bode, but scored against Utrecht. Now against Fortuna, a little bit more
It was
confidence about
it,
him.
it was it was an okay goal from Taylor's side. However, that goal should never have been gone through, because in a normal against a normal opponent or against Villa, you get blocked earlier. They will step in and defend their position. Um, and it was clear that he had the ball, but there was no real option for him to play the ball towards. He had Ekpom beside him, but he was close to another defender, and then that's it. That's it. All your options are gone. So this was the only option for him, and luckily Fortuna did not handle that very well, and he did it very nicely. Um, but in a normal situation, you won't get that far, in my opinion.
So you won't cut him that slack. It's like he's still a bench player for you, although he's
No, he
getting
does.
more and more involved.
He does better lately, or less bad. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
But like against Villa, you want to chip the ball over the defense. Yeah, then you don't want to play with Taylor. Then you want to play with Van der Boma, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't understand those choices. And it's also that he played terribly, got benched, made a really lucky goal, beauty, but lucky. Uh, and since then, he's coming back. Why? Because of that lucky goal?
I don't know. Maybe he's training. Maybe he's doing well
And,
in training. I don't know.
and and, and that's
I'm
it.
not a coach.
And that's it. If you talk about people why they are getting chances, look at Guy. Guy was subbed at 45 minutes a few games ago. He was given off time to get his mind together.
Yeah.
And now you select him against Villa and you select him over here, and you even play him. Why? Same as Forbes. Why? We have seen they don't perform. Then give someone else a chance, and it doesn't have to be youth per se, but try to make something of it, and don't step in the same trap again and again and again and again. But and that's the problem. They don't have any idea. They just don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then I'm talking about Schip and Vulcanus.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, I know, I know. I mean, talking about the play, who stood out for you then in this game? Who stood out the most of the Ajax players this game, and who were like really shit? Based on their performance.
I think I like Kaplan. I like Hato. Kaplan was a bit unlucky. I think Ramai did well. Besides that, I believe it was the 1-1. He should have had that.
Yeah, should have had it.
He
Yeah.
should have had that ball,
Indeed.
especially with his skills of goalkeeping. He should have had that one. I think Manswerk was okay-ish. Yeah, and that's I think that's about it. I think it's also very telling that the most of the terrible balls in the back were from Sutalo.
I mean, talking about Sutalo, I mean, sorry for laughing, but do we still need to consider him as a starting player? Do we need to have him in the starting lineup based on his?
I don't understand. I tweeted in before the game. Why Sutalo? Why not Medic? Medic is not a great player, but he does less. He makes less faults as Sutalo does.
Yeah,
it almost seems that Sutalo has trouble even with walking.
like a baby.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, he was. I mean, it's not. I mean, maybe it's something Croatian or something, but I mean, Sosa was terrible as well, in my opinion, as well as Hoyer. The whole wingback situation, it didn't look like they
No,
played
but
high at all.
they actually had the assignment apparently to play as wingers in front, because you saw in certain parts of the first half you saw only three men in the back: Sutalo on the right, Kaplan in the middle, and Hato on the left, and the other players, Goyer, they were constantly on the winger, and they're not wingers.
No, but yeah, indeed. But in that case, if they were, I mean, if it's true what you're saying, then why not actually play wingers? Although they have to cut back.
Try Gods. Where was Gods? Where was Vos? And Vos is not a winger, obviously.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean,
but I like his football qualities, especially on the sixth position. But Gods is coming back from an injury. I can imagine that you don't start with him. But why on earth bring Forbes? Why? I don't understand that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's way out of form, but maybe he thought you could use that speed. I don't know. I'm not from Schip.
Yeah, but
It was terrible today.
The problem with Forbes is that he always has the speed, but that's about it. So without anything else than speed, you have nothing, because the pass
Yeah. I mean,
are normally
even his
not.
ball handling, even his ball handling is crap. So it's. I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you on this. But looking at Van Schip or looking at you, we can conclude that if you play against a team that is also like trying to wait for the opponent and try to play in the counter attack, do you consider this the best formation to play against such teams?
No. And you know that mostly when you play at home as Ajax, they're gonna wait. And the only thing, and that's why the the attacking style, the pressing, and the playing only with 1-6 on the midfield is valid at Ajax, because you want to overload them. You want to overload their defense and their midfield with pressure, pressure on the ball, so they don't have time. They lose the ball, get anxious to play the ball, make faults, and you're going to profit from that. That's always been the tenure, or the way how Ajax played at home.
But that's when we had the type of players to do this, and you got Van
No,
Schip, who
no,
wants to
no.
play
We had
realistic
in the
football.
80s and in the 2000s, we had teams that weren't great and weren't
But
superb. There are enough names that I can name. Uh, for instance, Wielaert as a central defender. What the hell was that? There are enough players that weren't at Ajax level and played at
no, but
Ajax.
no, but
But
we
still,
now have more players. It's not like one or two. We have a lot of players who can't play the way we want them to see play, like the club Ajax, to see them play. And now,
but how do we know? Because Van Schip and Valkanis never ever really tried pressing the opponent from the start.
no, but
And
it seems like
and
it's
when
a
they
lot of
do in the
practice.
match, you immediately see that the opponent gets trouble. Oh,
I'm not trying to defend him, Van Schip, but maybe his thought was like, let's try to be realistic. Let's try to gain points and not focus too much on the way we want to play, the way Ajax wants to play, but more we want to get results, because at the end, the results that is what counts, and he's only for the
this,
short term.
but this has been the trouble since Ten Hag was here. The focus was shifted towards getting results, which ended in the last two seasons like 1-0 victories most of the times from Ten Hag.
Yeah.
And the trouble with that is on a Europe in the Eredivisie, it's fine, okayish, but in the European division, you are not out. How do you say it? Outperforming your opponents that
No,
way.
of
You
course,
need
but
something different. You need to surprise them. You need to get them off balance, and you don't do that with that kind of gameplay because we are not used to it. We don't have the quality. We don't have the experience on that highest level.
okay. Let me give you this one last question before I go to the comments.
Yeah.
Would you rather play your way of football, the 4-3-3 attacking and so on, with with the risk, or maybe even the reality, that we will miss out on Europe and then we'll have to start all over again next season from scratch? Or would you
No,
rather
not from
play?
scratch. Not from scratch.
No,
But
but I
go
mean,
on.
yeah, well, I mean, from what we heard, a lot of players will be sold. Maybe new players will come in, youth players will come in. So you basically start all over again. It's not like you're building further with the players that you have, but and you got a new coach who has a new way of thinking, new way of playing, probably. Um, so that's why I'm stating like starting from scratch, because the new coach, will start from out of. He needs to build a new foundation, like from the start. Would you rather have that, or would you rather have um football results? Doesn't matter how you play. 5-4-1, 5-3-2, 4-4-2. Boring football, but getting the results whereby you qualify for Europe, fourth place, fifth place. I don't. I mean, let's not even talk about fourth place. And then, as of next season, start fresh again. What would you rather? Would you rather see it now, or would you rather see
Depends.
it next
Depends.
season?
If you start right now, I don't know. If you start when Schipke was coming in, I would immediately
No,
start
okay,
trying to
but
play the
okay, but
pressing game
that's that then.
because you can lose points, especially in the beginning. You need to get acquainted with that um, and need to do that as a team. So that takes
Yeah,
some training, and that takes
I
some
agree. But
practice
that
in the
ship has
game.
sailed. But that ship has
Right?
sailed. That ship has sailed. So I mean, Van Slip is now here for months, for a long period.
Yeah, I would.
What would you think of now? Would you play the 4-3-3 or
Yeah,
would you play
yeah.
realistic?
No, yeah, I think I would, because in the end you have, I believe, about 9 games left,
Yeah,
uh, and you're probably gonna play 2 more games or 4 more games.
yeah,
Hopefully.
exactly.
Um, and in those games, you really want to get your opponent out of balance. So I would try to focus those 9 games. Points would be lovely, but try to get uh, into the flow, into a good form, with the right players. So no more Forbes, no more Guy, no more Sutalo. Just make a hard decision and try to get European football the way Ajax plays, because then you can fall back on the youth, and the youth isn't that great at the moment, to be honest.
Hmm.
But I think they're not worse as Guy, Sutalo, etc., and they at least know how to play that gameplay.
Okay.
Uh, so they're a step in front, in my opinion. And you cannot play with all youth players, but you have Van der Bomen, you have Henderson. Um, I think the back is the center of the back is quite solid with Kaplan and Hato. You have Manswerk on midfield, who does seem to have found his place. You have Brobby in the attack, then hopefully Berghuis and maybe Gods can fill in if Bergwijn is not there. So I would
Okay.
definitely try to get them out of their balance.
Okay. Cool. So you rather stick with your identity and doesn't matter how much we lose.
It has
And so
brought
on.
you everything in the past,
Okay.
so
Okay. Let me see if the viewers agree with you on that. Let me go through the comments.
probably
There are
not.
a lot of comments. So we got Yafit Bagdamimirov. He already wasn't that confident. Sutalo in means 3 points out. Well, in this case, it's 2 points
Two,
out,
yeah.
1 point gained. um, yeah, Steve fully agrees with you. 5-1 against Fortuna at home, and that with Akpom. Um, Also, Stieremans, what did Rakov do to John? I mean, you clearly needed an additional striker. Rakov was bought. Why not playing him? But okay. Maleno, Sutalo, Goy, Linso, Manswerk, Taylor, Volendam level performance today. Yeah, they were awful. I mean, Manswerk, I don't know.
No,
Taylor
Montfort
scored at home.
wasn't
So
that bad.
I mean, Taylor he was dangerous at certain occasions, but I
Yeah,
mean,
but he was also
yeah,
very bland most part of the game.
yeah. Okay, Progressivo X. What a shame, guys. Every time I think we found ourselves as a team again, there's a crappy game where nothing works and we start all over again. I think it all has to do with the opponent. If you play against a shitty opponent, I don't think you should play the defensive system, like to create that security at the back. Just go full throttle and against teams that are really individually strong as well. I can imagine, but okay. Let me check. Yeah, I see a lot of comments about Linson that they're playing bad. Sutalo, he's. I mean, if you see this, Sutalo doesn't work as Ajax seat. Sutalo forcing his transfer. Yeah, very shitty indeed. Um, Let me go.
Any questions?
Yeah, I'm trying to look for those questions. I see a lot of opinions, which is great as well. I mean, we as fans need to have those opinions. Our midfield is static, not playing scheme. Greece managed to win Euro with also defensive lineup. It's a matter of quality of players, not the scheme. Okay. Um, well, I see Maleno probably doesn't really agree with you. The formation was fine. Low level players, no results. Steermans, Forbes absolutely no value in this formation. So why the beep would you bring him in? Yeah. Did you think after the players came in, did you see that we still play that 5-3-2 formation, or did we change it to
No,
4?
not really, not really, and that's the problem with it all. Um, what you saw after that was just a little bit of hit and run football kind of tactic. You even saw some miscommunication that players didn't really know what to do. Um, yeah, and I really question myself what on earth they are doing on the training grounds. I really cannot see
Well,
anything that they train on where you get something into the team. Uh, um, there's
it,
no real line or something.
well,
It's
if they train, I mean, they had so many days off.
exactly.
If they train, obviously.
Eh, eh, if you look at it like that, then it's a little bit like the Stein era. It's going shit. So let's give the players off.
I don't know, but it
And
remains
I'm not
so.
saying that training always helps, because you should balance it. You shouldn't overload players, but giving players off in a terrible period and just let them decide what to do. They need structure, and they need simple structure, and you need to give that to a team, in my opinion.
Yeah,
And that's why I think it's really strange that Van Schip has his A license, because I would imagine that that is one of the most important things. It doesn't matter how you play, you have to give them structure, and you have to keep it simple when it doesn't really work. And he doesn't do that, because
no.
he over loads the back against an opponent that's hanging back, and then he's gonna turn it around and yeah,
Yeah,
play long balls.
yeah. Well, we clearly don't see that, but yeah, we'll have to wait then. Maybe in the future. What did you think about the game? Did we deserve a better score? We had a draw. Puppy is saying that we deserve a better score, probably based on the first half, where we created some chances. But overall, did you it to
No,
reflect?
no, no. If you're Ajax, you need to really deserve a win at home, in my opinion. And we had more ball possession. We had maybe more chances, but it was marginally, and the gameplay was so unbelievably terrible. I don't really think Ajax deserved a win. I think a draw was uh, yeah, but was okay.
Yeah,
But
I think so.
punish your bad attitude and your bad intention.
Yeah, yeah. The tempo was very terrible indeed as well. We
Yeah,
got Juan.
and that's a strange thing. When they come behind, they can up
Press.
the tempo.
They
What?
can
Why
press. Yeah,
can't they start that way?
that's the $1 million question. Yeah, Denenko. We always question that
But
when we get behind, we constantly pressure. We try to create chances, and it's. I mean,
and Van Schip gets mad on a youth player on not doing something he wanted, but he should be mad that they don't start to press right away from the start. Look
yeah,
at how they went into the second half. That's where he needs to be angry,
yeah,
in my
yeah.
opinion.
No, no, I fully agree with you on that. Let's see what Juan has to say. It's
Yeah,
obvious
well
that
done.
we need to show intensity and be on the front foot every game, no matter the system. We can't control games. That's basically what you are stating um, just literally a few seconds
Yeah,
ago. Show that intensity, and that
yeah.
way you create chances, you pressure them at their half, and
And
now we wait.
especially when you're in a bad period, give it your all and put the energy in that is needed.
Yeah, I mean, I fully agree. And of course, and Juan, of course, he knows football. Another problem of this current system is possession. In possession is most passes end up to our wing backs, lots of side passing or horizontal passing. You don't have many options to play vertical, only long balls. I mean, we saw that also with, I mean, if you pass the ball to Sosa, you already know he will cross it.
Yeah,
You know that.
he has no real option or back
There is no
or cross
1-2.
it.
There's no combination play. There's no someone who
Huh?
goes deep to pass. No, always that high cross, and then
Yeah.
we lose the ball. It's a very
Yeah, and sometimes it comes exactly right, and then you have a header, and then you're dangerous, and that's
yeah
it. That's
yeah. I
it.
mean exactly. Now the Captain Deadpool. We just discussed this, so it's like, I mean, yeah. Sosa has only one move, cross the ball non-accurately from the left. We
And that's
constantly
no
saw that.
that and this is not a problem per se. But then you have to ensure that when he gets the ball, there's room for him to do that, and not depend everything on him doing that without making space for him.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's like we become predictable. That's the conclusion. We're becoming way too predictable in such a low tempo, and that's worrisome because you can obviously play attacking with a 5-3-2 if you have the intensity. If you have the intensity and you have the plan to attack, you can easily play attacking football with a 5-3-2 system. But what we now see is more
Look,
defensively than Atletico Madrid
yeah,
under Simeone, and we all know how defensively he can
but
play in
look,
that system.
look at the Villa game. It wasn't really attacking, but it was more attacking than the last games before. And the only thing that really differed was the intensity and the intention.
Yeah,
So
no,
it makes a big
true,
difference.
true.
Juan is absolutely right
Yeah,
about that.
and you got some fans as well.
Okay.
Keith, anointed. He chooses 4-3-3. Come on, Yadarenko, based on what you wear, 1998 kid, you on my side. And then somebody tells
Yep. It's
him
earlier,
it's
I
a
believe.
1992 jersey.
Yeah, I think it's 1991, 1992, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So hey, you're up for president, man. So you got the votes.
I don't know if I want that in this Ajax. Sorry.
No, but I mean, if you had the chance to do those changes, it might work out. Hopefully, Cruz is listening. Um, but yeah, and then we got Steve saying you framed the question as if 5-1 would get results, but it hasn't until now. 2 draws, 1 win, 1 loss. No, it's true. But what I mean is, if you play result football, it doesn't matter 5-4-1, 4-4-2. I mean, when we played 4-3-3, it was like so many gaps at the back. There were so many chances created against us. So you try to play a realistic football by at first not conceding and then see how you were able to score. That's why I stated it's not like the 5-4-1 is the formation that I was pointing to, but more on the other formations except the 4-3-3.
It's
I
more
got a
that the
question for you.
intention. Sorry? Okay,
Question for
cool.
you, Christian. With some matches left, what percentage would you give for reaching the fourth place? And let me check for your convenience how many points we are behind the fourth place. That's 6 points with 9 games left, and
Uh,
and,
so,
and, and we got and the sixth spot has Nijmegen NEC, and they're currently 0-0 and they have 37 points. So they're 3 points behind us, and AZ is 6 points ahead of us. So give us
I think it's 50-50. Either you get the fourth position or you don't get the fourth position. Now, I don't think Ajax will get the fourth position anymore. I think that has passed.
Yeah, but can we maintain the fifth position, or do you see us really dropping back?
Who knows? Who knows if Schip is going to continue on this path and keeps listening to Vulcanus. we can even drop out of the top 10. I guess it's
Yo, this
yeah, but
game is
yeah, but
really,
yeah, you have no right against the number 10 of the Eredivisie at home.
you know.
So when are you going to put your foot down? I'm not seeing it.
No, but it remains difficult. We got a question from Juan. Let's start with you. Isn't it odd we can't show the same intensity 2 games in 1 week? Should we be worried about the fitness level of the squad, or do you think that it has to do with other elements?
Look at the injuries, and this is not from this season. This has been going on for quite some time now. It seems that Ajax was super fit under Peter Bos,
Hmm.
and after that, you don't really see those games anymore with that intensity that they can manage, and especially the last years. I think they're doing something wrong at the toekomst with the way they train or the way they interpret the data from the players, because there's so many small injuries, and larger injuries can be a rupture or something like that. So you can have a little bit of bad luck, but all those small injuries add up to that you're not doing something right,
No,
in
but
my opinion.
so you actually blame it on the fitness level?
I think it's a part you need to look at because
Okay.
it's not superb, and the way you want to play football, pressing with lots of intensity, high speed game play. You need that level. You need that Peter
Yeah.
Bos kind of fitness level to. If you're not coming through, then the fitness level will surpass the opponent.
Yeah, I agree to you partially because in my view, if I may answer the question of Juan, I think it's not only the fitness level. I think it's more about the mindset. There, I mean, if you play in European game, it's like you give everything. You got the crowd, you got the fans who give everything. If you look at the fans right now at this Eredivisie game, I'm not
But
blaming the fans,
come
by the
on,
way,
but come
but
on,
like the players
don't you
can't
think?
be motivated. Seems.
But don't you think this is exactly why you have a manager
No, I'm
and
not
you have
blaming.
a
I'm
technical
not.
staff
I
to,
mean,
to
of
get
course,
them out of
of
the?
course, yeah, yeah, definitely. No, I mean, well, I'm looking at the other players now. Who is responsible? Of course, it's the coach. But for me, it's more of a motivational thing. And I think knowing that Brobbey is not playing, Brobbey, if I mean, Brobbey is more than 50% of this Ajax. If he doesn't play, it's like the quality decreases
and that's
immense,
and that's sad because
and that's
Robbie
sad. I think that
has a
showed as well.
tremendous season, but um, you cannot depend that much on one player.
Yeah. No,
And,
should be.
then it becomes even worse when you pick the formation they picked, because then you isolate him even more.
Yeah.
So it's
Uh,
technically it's all over the place. It's
let's look at Andrew Layton. You need to have players that are technical enough to break defenders one versus one on one.
no,
We don't have any of those players. We have Gods.
no,
We
no.
have Gods
If
who
you
can
if
do
you
that,
if
but
you if you press on forward, if you start pressing as a team with a good formation, then the balls that go over your pressing wall or between that are so different in defending. It's just a different way of defending, a different intention of
no,
defending.
I think he's meaning the forwards. You know, you mean if we have the ball, if we
Yeah,
want to create something, so not pressing as in the opponent has the ball and we press them and we recuperate the ball, we win the ball. It's more like when we play today. It was more on pass to Sosa and then across, or pass to Hoyer and then across. There was no there was no one-on-one. There was no dribbling. There was
But,
no
but,
technical.
but the typical Ajax gameplay attacking is pass through the middle.
Yeah, but
So
also the
that,
wingers. I mean, the wingers. I
but
mean, if you look at
that's no problem if you train on that. Because yes, you need some technical capability, but you also need to train on that. We all
yeah, but
know the rondos.
no, but you can train on it. But there are players who are technical by talent. You know, Gods is
Yeah,
technical by talent.
exactly.
Just like we had players. I mean, if you look at Frankie De Jong, technically
Yeah,
as a
but
talent,
you're
you know.
mentioning Gods, and that's exactly it. If you
Yeah,
look at
that's
Gods
what I
and you look
mentioned.
at Forbes is a nice guy, lovely guy, really fast, but technically he's not fit for this Ajax, and Gods is. So why on earth are you benching him and getting him in instead of Gods? It's
Yeah,
there's no idea. There's
maybe
just
it was
no
an
idea.
injuries. We don't know. We never know. So it remains unfortunate. To end up this stream, just give me like your conclusion on this game and how to change it, like in a very short moment.
This game was fucked. So let's forget it and go on.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I would definitely try different players to like Gods, for instance, on the left side, or maybe Jermumi on the right back position, instead of making those same mistakes again with players that just don't show it at this moment. And you need to build up right now before the end of the season. So I would choose that, and it doesn't have to be a youth player. You can also try Medic, but I wouldn't play with five defenders. I would only play with five. No, I would never play with five defenders. I would just take that hit and try to score more goals and focus on that.
Okay. So a 5-4 is better than a 1-0. That's your conclusion.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, let's end up with that conclusion, guys. If you all agree with that, we have different opinions. Leave a comment. We'll try to discuss, of course, out of this stream. For the people who haven't subbed, please do. If you like the video, also if you didn't, of course, and like it. Also, if you didn't like it as well. Thank you for watching, and hopefully, good times next games. See you guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.